getting lined up, and they're pulling back to that front pack.
Yeah, and you know why? Because the wise veteran, Jeff Gordon, said, come on, guys, you're getting away. Let's get in line. And you see him right there pulling the other guys back up.
And then rush hour. 3 wide still through the rest of the pack.
Well, the message hadn't got back that far yet. But you see, everybody's trying. Everybody's trying to get into one line. As long as you got somebody behind you, you're okay. As long as you got somebody pushing you and you kind of suck up, you're okay.
See how quick that group is closing with Jeff Gordon in 24. It's a little over a second behind, but it's closing as they get lined up. You get lined up like that, you catch a pack. You're pushing and pulling each other.
Now they're close enough to sniff the draft of that front pack, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're there now. About 100 yards. What happens to these cats back in here, though, is Hamlin, I don't care what anybody says. They always say, oh, Hamlin don't make a lot of difference in Talladega. Hamlin makes a difference everywhere. And if you ever have to start squeezing up out of the throttle because your car's pushing or getting a little bit loose or it's not comfortable in traffic, everybody gets away from you.
Where the gap is beginning to develop as you watch Jeff Gordon at 191 miles an hour is from the single file to the double wide cars. That's where the gap is building.
That's it. These guys right here, there's nothing they can do. It's not like they are in some kind of control. They got to hold what they got, but they're going to get left behind if they don't hurry up and get in line.
We have about the top 19 cars lined up, and as you say, till that group gets organized in a single file, it'll continue to pull away.
Well, they're still trying to decide which line is the fastest, you know, in the inside, outside, middle, and they haven't figured that out yet.
Pole sitter Jimmie Johnson has dropped back in the field to 16th place. Dick Berggren.
Well, he radioed his crew just a moment ago, Mike, and said that the car is more loose than anything else. He tried running up on his teammate, Jeff Gordon, and said the car just got more loose. Perhaps more worrisome, he has told the crew that the water temperature has risen to 230 degrees. That'll make it tougher for him to close up on the back end of anybody.
230, where would you like to see that temperature?
Well, here you got to be at about 210. These things, they start detonating. In other words, they start misfiring internally. You got that restrictor plate on there, and the heat goes up, the power goes down, it won't run a lick.
After about 230, the driver says he can almost feel it stop, quit running.
She bogs down on him.
Mike Skinner changed engines. Had to start tail end of the field and look at his progress.
Yeah, he was at the tail end of the field. He didn't even complete his qualifying run the other day, and he's all up to 16th. So he's definitely making a move in his 4-car.
And as I was saying about handling, you hear Jimmie Johnson say, hey, my car's looser, and it's been all week. He hadn't been out there with 43 other cars all week long. You get out there in a little pack of cars, you're pretty happy. The tape on the grill, temperatures are good, but when you put all these cars out there together, it changes everything.
The field is now broken up into 2 packs. This is Kenny Wallace. Pole sitter Jimmie Johnson to his left. Casey Atwood to the right. He's trying to follow push up the middle.
3 wide.
That middle's a sucker hole. It'll pull you up in there and you say, this is the way to go. And then all of a sudden, backwards you go.
Well, the field had split off into 2 distinct packs. Mark Martin is trying to lead that second pack forward along with Ricky Rudd.
It seems that those first 7 cars are a good bit quicker than everybody else, and they stay single file, and the other cars can pull up to them, but that's all they can do is just pull up to them.
And then they get racy and get double file again.
And as soon as they get there, they say, oh, we caught them, let's race now, and then they go backwards again.
Was that Jeff Green?
Jeff
dropping to the inside.
Yeah, he saw an opening there, and he wanted to get to the inside, and he took it. And by the way, folks, you don't give hand signals or turn signals here. You just take it.
There's the breakaway, 7 cars. Here's the rest of the field.
Jeff Gordon in 24, he's just on the verge of losing that group, but I think what happened, Darrell, he run up there to him, but the product of the restrictor plate is you will get so close to him, and you just can't go ahead and get to the rear bumper. It's like a wall you run up against.
Yeah, it is, a wall of air. That's what it is, and some cars will pull up and go on, and others will just die. They just stop.
And he's definitely losing that top 6.
Oh, yeah, he pulled them up there. They got single file, and he pulled them up there, but he doesn't have enough steam to stay with them.
Now, it was 191. Look at him now.
Yeah, and you can drop as much as 500 RPM in and out of the draft. And you can lose 4 or 5 miles an hour in or out of the draft. A good example, Kenny Schrader's running 52.90. The leader is running 50.90. 2 seconds.
6 cars, then Gordon, and the second pack is now caught up Jeff Gordon.
Now, when those cars get up behind Jeff and start pushing him, then they'll go forward again, but you can't do it by yourself.
As long as they got a little bit of a single file going on, no side-by-side racing.
Darrell, do you mean pushing with the air or literally pushing?
Well, the pushing with the air. I mean, that wall of air that he was hitting, now that car behind him is helping him break through it.
27 laps complete. The Talladega Superspeedway, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Ryan Newman, Michael Waltrip, Robbie Gordon still coupled together at the front of the field.
There will be a time in here when that outside lane will start to pull up there. And we were talking about Mike Skinner a little while ago. What a great run to the front he's made. You know where he's running now?
No.
39th.
They have kicked Ryan Newman. The 12 car was running second for about the last 10 laps. They've kicked him out, but he's got help coming. Jeremy Mayfield in the 19. That group is pulling up to him. They'll be his best ally getting kicked out of line.
Jimmy Johnson, and was that Harvick or Sterling that jumped to the bottom of the racetrack right there? That was a bold move. It was Sterling, and he brought point-standing runner-up Matt Kenseth with him.
Well, you just have to take advantage of every opportunity, no matter how small it may be. If you see an opening, you've got to go for it because you can't let off that throttle.
And Darrell, all these moves we see, these jump-out moves, are from the top to the bottom of the racetrack, not the other way.
Yeah, well, you're trying to, everybody wants to be on the inside. I mean, general consensus would be the inside would be the fastest place to be all day long.
Tell that to Tony Stewart, who just pulled out to go high, and now he is the hot dog between the bun.
And you just watch. It's going to be very difficult for him to do anything except go backwards. You got the 48 car there behind him, or is that, no, that's Jeff Gordon behind him. It might be a savior for him.
But you know, one reason, Mike, in the corners, you'll see them go from the top to the bottom. Get a run down. You'll pick up RPMs, pick up speed from the top to the bottom.
Well, the other reason is you can see the left pretty good. You can't see a dadgum thing to the right.
Good point. Mark Martin on the outside of Robbie Gordon.
Things are getting ready to tighten up. That free ride that that front six was getting is over with, boys. That outside is coming.
I mean, Darrell, if you're like Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon, and you're in the middle, and it's just lap after lap after lap, I mean, do you finally just say, I can't stay here no longer?
You can, exactly. I mean, finally, you got to say, I either got to get inside, outside, or I got to get to the back and start all over again.
About all I can stand.
That's all you can do because your car is all over the place.
Jeremy Mayfield led that lap. He's the race's third different leader after Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And I talked to Ray last night, Ray Everhand. He told me, he said, DW, I'm going to work on that 19 car today. We're going to make some changes on it. He said, I'm going to put it like we used to run it with Jeff Gordon. And he said, see how I do.
Larry, the Dodges and the Fords didn't qualify all that well. It looked like an all-Chevrolet show after qualifying, but in the race, things are really different.
Well, I mean, again, you know, if you're a little down on drag, if you're hurting for drag, once you get out there in dirty laundry, dirty air, it kind of evens everything up.
All right, we got 34 laps here that we've completed. These cars are about now going through big transitions, burning off fuel, tire pressures are up. Drivers are just getting a little irritated right now. Not a lot, but a little bit. Things are going to heat up. People are going to start making some erratic moves.
Here comes one right here. Michael Waltrip trying to get a little help from Robbie Gordon on his teammate, Dale Earnhardt Jr., but he moved to the bottom right here, going into turn 3. I mean, look how close they're running, and this is getting off in a corner at 190 miles an hour.
Well, they think they can bump trap, and you can as long as you're going straight, but you better not try it in the corner. Dick Berger.
Well, pit strategy here at Talladega will be a good bit different than if you watched the race last weekend at Martinsville. There, on the short track, tires were the whole ball game, and people constantly came in and fired tires at the car because that helped get them through the corners. Here, tires are far less important than track position. Unless there is a caution flag, we don't anticipate seeing anyone come in to pit their car until around lap 50. Even at that, you're going to see people today take just 2 tires in order to get a faster pit stop out of this place. Track position, the whole ball game at Talladega.
Look at this. The cars in the parking lot are not this close.
Yeah, and folks, this is not orchestrated. No, they are not doing this. This is not practicing your precise flying mirror.
Yeah, this is not let us entertain you.
Yes.
This is I'm trying to get to the front.
Going to get crowded off the 4 here, guys. We're bottlenecking up here.
I mean, you know, as a crew chief, I'm running around right now. I'm trying to pick my dancing partner when I want to pit, what I want to do. But Jeff Hammond, I'm also trying to keep an eye on my driver and what's going on out there, because what might be his partner now may be 20 car lengths between them when we get to a pit stop.
Yeah, you go through all the practice sessions and you try to figure out, hey, I ran good with this car. You talked about it earlier, the 20 car running good with this guy. All of a sudden, you can't get to the man you'd like to, so you got to start trying to find some friends out there. This part of the race, you can find a few friends. You can find guys who will work with you. So you start trying to make those marriages and try to keep your car at the front as best you can. By the end of the day, don't expect that to be there.
Little bump there. Newman into the back of Jeff Gordon just to kind of push him along into the corner.
This is like a big flock of geese flying through the air. The guy in the front, he's working the hardest. He's breaking the air open for you, and everybody else is getting a free ride. And that free ride is what pulls you forward so quickly sometimes.
Steve Burns.
You know, Mike, it's amazing, as you guys pointed out, how much these cars move around from the front to the back. Terry Labonte started 11th, dropped to 38th. I went down and asked crew chief Jim Long if they were okay, and he just kind of shrugged his shoulders. Says, yeah, Terry says the car's fine. He just got shuffled out. Well, then, you see the 5 car, he moved up as high as 23rd. He's just riding. In fact, in practice, he didn't even run that many laps yesterday because he didn't want to tear up the race car. He's just being nice, cool, and collected.
And Jeff Green is the ping pong ball of the day. He started 30th. We told you he had climbed his way all the way up to 5th. And on the last time by, in that 3-wide shuffle, back to 27th. It's been an up and down day, and we've only run 37 laps. Johnny Benson, Jeff Green right behind, and Kyle Petty splitting the middle. Now, Kyle started 11th. He moved up. He's dropped back to 29th. Now he's picked up a spot or two.
You get a little bit of help from Kevin Harvick in that silver 29 car. Good race car.
And again, what you try to do when you're nose to tail with somebody is you got to keep your foot on the floor. You got to keep that right one matted and use that brake pedal. Got a car off the pace here.
Yep, Bobby Hamilton.
He went up, almost hit the wall. I don't know if something happened to the car or not.
Up front for the lead, Michael Waltrip goes nose to nose with his teammate, and Tony Stewart, as Matt told us earlier, hooks on with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And Michael Waltrip's down there in the 15 with not a whole lot of help.
Oh, he's going to get
Ryan Newman dropped down there. He's going to try to push him on.
Those are the 2 best cars, the 8 and the 15, and they're going to, you know, somebody's going to get behind you. You can count on that. They've seen those 2 cars lead the race. They've been up front since the drop of the green flag. That's who I want to go with. You looking good, baby.
See that car behind Ryan Newman, though, the 12 car, that's a teammate as well. Kenny Wallace in the 48. DEI car, DEI engine. Kenny always runs well here. Ran second here about a year and a half ago.
And Jeff Gordon is up there in the mix in 6th, right alongside Kenny Wallace. Why are the Dale Earnhardt Incorporated cars, the DEI cars, so good on the plate tracks?
Well, it's certainly, we always talk about aero, and they seem to have developed a great aero package, but I got to tell you, I think it's hand-me-down information. I think it's what Dale left behind. I think it's that notebook that we always talk about. I think Dale knew things about Daytona and Talladega that he had figured out with Childress and others, and he just incorporated into those cars, and they always have run good. Think about how well Dale always ran at Daytona and Talladega.
Well, 2 of his cars, Earnhardt Jr. and Michael Waltrip, lead this parade. The 98 of Kenny Wallace and the 1 of Steve Park are also out of that shop.
I've always said your legacy is what you leave behind, and Dale left behind so much for so many, and these guys are taking advantage of it.
Bobby Hamilton in the 55 was on pit road. He's back out on the racetrack, but he's a lap down. Also, Frank Kimmel driving the 26 car for Travis Carter. He's in the garage area.
Hamilton got tires. We're looking back from Kenny Wallace.
And you'll notice as you look at those 3 distinctive lines, they're not straight. You've got to be one side or the other of the car in front of you so you can see what's going on. You can't just fall right dead in behind that guy or you're blinded. You've got to be able to see.
Folks, it's just like in the traffic jam of your morning commute.